Hi, you here? It's a late start. I want to know one thing. In this read, there is the name Annu. Are you Annu? But Annu is my mom, Anita. Ex-Mrs. Anita Advani, who says she is going to get married to Kiran Merchant, and in a second marriage she becomes Mrs. Anita Merchant. So she is my mom is Annu Sadrangani, called lovingly by her parents, who is Ramchand Sadrangani and Parpati Sadrangani, as Annu, short for Anita. Before marriage, after marriage, and after divorce also, and second marriage also. Are you Annu? Are you Annu Mathani? Are you Annu Sadrangani? Are you ex-Mrs. Anita Advani, who got married and lived at number 4 Jaswell, first floor, 9 New Marine Lines, first floor, Bombay 20? Are you that? Are you the one who divorced and left 4 Jaswell and then got married to Kiran Merchant in a second marriage? Are you the convener of the Bal Vikas class? Are you the convener of the Bal Vikas class, her daughter? Are you the girl who came to Bangalore before you were 1 year old, where a lady by name of Anu Sadrangani, Anita Advani, and her older daughter JAYA.ADVANI and a younger baby called Varsha Advani were brought to Bangalore, and in that time stayed with some relatives of that version of Anita Advani at Bangalore, and you were left with Anita Advani's relatives, Lachu and Rajni. Either she was an elderly lady who used to wear white. You are that girl? You were classified as Anita before you passed away? You were born to that lady who took you to her relative's home in Bangalore? With me, the other child, JAYA.ADVANI, you were lesser than 1 year old, or you were around 1 year old. On one occasion, you were left behind with Anu's or Anita's relatives. On another occasion, you were taken with me to Whitefield. We stayed in a building which was close to completion in the construction of Commercial Street. You used to like playing with water? You are that? They made you Anita afterwards? The woman who took you there with me, brought us from Bombay to Bangalore, is she your womb mother? That woman is my womb mother also. Does she have a bad temper? Is she very triggerable with a bad temper? She has a clone for her who is triggerable with a bad temper. Her clone promises things to children but never delivers on purpose because she needs to break heart at any cost. She's also heavy-handed with her hands. She beats children. She's abusive towards children. She gets into a rage. She's neurally networked to the beast. It is her network who is being Mrs. Anita Merchant today. They work with Arun Jaitley's network that is connected with Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, Uzbekistan, etc., on one hand. And on the other hand, with the Middle East, whether it is Iraq, Iran, Oman, Turkey, Yemen, Syria, the war-torn areas where people are living in fear most times, like a Syria and an Afghanistan, do they recruit those people for a face change, brain control where even they cannot remember who they are, and plug them into societies around the world with the idea of controlling them and changing things stealth mode around the world? They created the Syrian war, Afghanistani war, primarily to make it very difficult for those people to live in those countries, so they are recruitable. And then based on the neural network, they stage unhappiness at a civil level in other countries, creating problems for legal government around the world and legal organizations around the world. That's a problem. Okay, I'm going to do one thing. I wanted to ask you about Nita Ambani. I saw a photo yesterday, a small shot. I don't know. Was that do you think, I don't know what to say, but the point is, did you ever interact with that person? You interacted with that lady? Did your clone ever interact with that person? Were you cleaning in their setup? Real daughter of Anu Sadrangani. I am talking to Anu Sadrangani's daughter Varsha.ADVANI. I only want to talk to Varsha.ADVANI. I don't want to talk to anybody else because I don't want mass confusion over here. Am I talking to Nita Ambani's ego by any chance? You are the real lady who got married to Mr. Ambani, Mr. Mukesh Ambani. So let's say you are the lady who got married to the owner of Antalya building and RIL and Reliance and everything. You are his legally wedded wife. Did you meet Shalina ever? The one who wanted admission for her daughter called Sharanya Hundalani. Did you meet her? She wanted admission for Sharanya Hundalani. Sharanya Hundalani was in Billabong High at that point in time. Sharanya Hundalani was going to Jamnabai in Juhu. The Shalina Hundalani that you met, I can ask you if you know the history, if you know and you can look beyond what you're facing. The Shalina Hundalani you met, Don't know if it was 2008 or 2009, one of those 2 years. She wanted admission for Sharanya Hundalani. You met the real JAYA.ADVANI at that time? In retrospect, you met the real Mrs. Shalina Hundalani at that time, who wanted admission for Sharanya. You met a clone for Shalina Hundalani. Now, if you can let me know what is the identity of that clone, because there is a little confusion. Was that girl from this country to start with? Is she an Indian? She's from the poor sections of society, that girl? Is that girl still in her human body today? That girl comes from a background of domestic help workers. That girl, is that girl fake Anita's actual daughter? Fake Anita hired her to be Shalina Hundalani. So how do we identify fake Anita Merchant? Should we call JAYA.ADVANI, who got CRISPR to be Anu Sadrangani Anita from 2009 onwards? She left her body in February 2018, is what I understand, in and around that timeline. So should we say fake Anita Merchant to make sure that it is going to the adult's identity, and call JAYA.ADVANI Anita as the fake ID, but the real JAYA.ADVANI CRISPRed and put out in Panvel as Anita with no surname? 9 years. So the fake Anita Merchant recruited this girl who was poverty ridden. The fake Anita Merchant shapeshifts for Mr. Narendra Damodar Das Modi or late Mr. Narendra Damodar Das Modi in any way. The beast ever shapeshifts in turn for the fake Mrs. Anita Merchant? The beast shapeshifts for fake Mr. Narendra Damodar Das Modi, whatever the shapeshifters are. The beast does that work. The beast is a boy. The beast is a lady, a woman. The beast is what? Ego software without a human being. The head beast is a human being with the software of the ego in the brain, and it can switch different personality types. Is it the real Audrey Hepburn, the original lady born from the womb? Is it only some personality traits, genetics, genomes, or then the ego for the pleasing personality, the charming lady that she is? Is it only that part to charm and fool people, since we're in talatalaloka, trickery? Along with that, is it Hitler's decision making or thought patterns? Along with that, is it the ability to have mass attraction like Stalin, but never to give payback? always to take the work and then kill the person who has worked for you. Once not you, but once he gets what he wants. Quick switch in the ego, like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, something of that sort. All personalities fitted into one person, that's the head beast. The head beast met me as Mrs. Ritu Malia, looking very good, 2010 end or early 2011, before I went away to New Zealand. That version of Mrs. Ritu Malia was the head beast. That version of Ritu Malia who met me at Four Seasons the building called Four Seasons Prestige Apartments, it is a penthouse. The lady who visited over there was looking very good. She's supposed to be my father's sister. Was she my father's real sister? So she says, I have met Salman Khan in real life. He's better looking in real life than he is on screen. When she got into the lift, I walked her to the, because I'm seeing her after a long time and she's my father's sister. They're all elderly people. So I walk her to the lift and, when she's getting into the lift, she says, there really is a God. So I'm wondering what this weird talk is all about, but I'm very happy because they're elderly. She's looking good. She's looking pretty and good. So I'm asking you yet once again, that lady was my father's sister? My father's real sister? That lady is neurally networked to the beast. She's one of the octopus's arms, neurally. But she is the head beast. She was aware that SK was no more and SKF had come into place and there are 9 SKFs. At that point in time, was the head beast hiding out as Koshi Gupta? Whose home this incident took place at? Have I met the head beast? Can you tell me? Has the head beast ever crossed paths with me? When she has crossed paths with me, she has crossed paths with me as Binu Sadrangani ever? Has she crossed paths with me as Ritu Malia ever? Has she crossed paths with me as Anita Advani ever? Ex-Mrs. Anita Advani ever? Has she crossed paths with me as Mrs. Anita Merchant ever? So as ex-Mrs. Anita Advani, that is before she has left Jaswell, she has crossed paths with me. As Ritu Malia, later on she has crossed paths with me. As Binu Sarangani, she has crossed paths with me. Now one thing I'm trying to understand, we're talking only about the head beast. I'm not asking about people who are neurally networked on the head beast network. I don't want that. I want the head beast itself. Has the head beast crossed paths with me? The center point of the brain, that is the head beast. On Anita Advani's identity, she has crossed paths with me. The head beast on Ritu Malia's identity has crossed paths with me. The head beast on Binu Sadrangani's identity has crossed paths with me. The head beast is primarily from the womb. Which DNA can you tell me? Syrian DNA, Korean DNA, Syrian DNA, was Syria involved in the Qasab bomb blast? The Marathi Chhatrapati Shivaji terminus was affected. The Israeli synagogue was affected. Iran's, I don't know about Leopold, but definitely when it comes to Taj Mahal, it goes back to Persia and goes back to Iran. So, three places affected says there was descent towards three countries or three kinds of people. One were the Parsis, the other one was from Iran, the other one was the Marathis. The third was the synagogue, the Israelis. When it comes to Leopold, I'm not sure who it is. The one who got the Qasab bomb blast done were the Pakistanis. It was Pakistanis as a front, like the Illuminati for the Society of 300, but work done by somebody else using them and their need for the bomb blast. The one who got the bomb blast done is from what? The Middle East? From Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Azerbaijan, those kind of places. Afghanistan. The descent was from whom? The actual, was it actual, did the bomb blast happen because someone was unhappy? Were they unhappy on a payout amongst their network of people? They wanted to forcefully change the government, so they staged something. Is there any country other than Pakistan, outside of India, involved in the decision making to create the situation so that there's a forced change more in line with what they want? Is it a country? A singular country? Something like the Society of 300 is behind it? Okay, Nita Ambani is here. If I can go back to the other question. Since you are here, am I to presume you are no more in the body? The girl who came seeking admission for Sharanya, is her network responsible for what happened with you? Is it the society of the 300 that are responsible for what happened with you? Your husband is a part of that society? Can I ask you in which year you were pulled off? Okay, I'll go one step at a time. I don't remember which year Shalina met you, but she took it all out on me like it was my fault. But it's not my fault. I'm not part of anything. So, anyway, was it the year 2008 that you were pulled off? Was it the year 2009 you were pulled off? Was it the year 2010 you were pulled off? Was it the year 2011 you were pulled off? Was it the year 2013 you were pulled off? You were pulled off in the year 2013? Did you ever visit Sharan? You were taken to the building, the standalone building in Bandra. In Sharan, you were taken there. I want to ask you again, are you somebody who shapeshifted for the real Mrs. Neeta Ambani? I will ask you simply. I'll look at a photo on the internet and ask you if you are that person. Is that okay? Okay, I think that is more safe because I am also a little confused. So I'll do that. You ever had the identity of a girl called Nikita or Firdos? When you visit, you had the identity of Firdos? Firdos is connected with Great Expectations, the Hindi version where Katrina has worked in a movie. I don't even know when that movie was released. I don't know if it was called Fitrat or it was called something. I don't even know what it was called. But over there, I think there is a Firdos character. I'll have to do the recheck. Anything connected with that in any way? Something connected with that? Okay, I'm extremely sorry for whatever has happened. I don't like hearing these things. But I sat up yesterday just looking at YouTube something, and I felt that I should ask. At the most, it'll be good if we get a no. So we can just let it be and move on. But since you're saying so much, then I go to the photo. I'll just wait. I'll just go and check it. So I have a photo of Mrs. Neeta Ambani when she seems to be, it's a black and white photo. Is that you? Is the black and white photo? Can I show it? Can I show it? Okay. So I'm referring to this photo and asking about this photo. Now, whatever be the case, because they morph lots of photos, you can see it's fully painted white. Point is, this timeline is hers. What she's saying is what I understand. If I understand what they did with other photos. Okay, this is the photo. Okay, are you saying the timeline is you? Have they morphed your photo in any way to change it in any way? They have done so. They have painted it over. Okay, but the timeline is you. Can I move ahead and ask for another photo? Okay. This is another photo. We ask if this is still within the timeline of who should be. The lady in the pink who is seen doing some exercise, is that you? It is you by the womb birth as Mrs. Neeta Ambani. It is you. That is still you. That was actually you. Okay. Okay, this is mother and son together. Okay, in this photo with mother and son, is that you with your son, Mr. Anant Ambani? That is your son, Anant Ambani? The one you produced through the womb by birth? That's your son? The lady who's pinching the son's cheek is you? You're telling me both are fake identities? I want to ask you as an extension or whatever I want to ask you, the beast has ever shapeshifted for you as Mrs. Neeta Ambani? She has. She has shapeshifted for you. She has worn your skin in Antalya. This boy who's playing Anant Ambani, he's neurally networked to the beast. He comes from the same land of what? Either the Middle East. Is he from the Middle East? Middle East means like Iraq, Iran, Oman, Yemen, Turkey, those kind of places. Is he from there? Doha, Qatar, Riyadh, and those Middle East is like some 18 countries, all in the middle. Like, it's pretty war torn. So this boy comes from there, somewhere from there. It is Arabia. Keeping the UAE out of it, though, this boy is from UAE. The UAE location. Your son was also born from UAE location. Tell me one thing, your father-in-law ever worked in the Middle East in Saudi? Your father-in-law ever worked in that region ever earlier, much earlier? So this boy comes from that region. The beast has shape shifted. Tell me one thing, is the beast photo out over here anywhere? So can I do a check who the beast is over here on your identity? Okay, so I'll first start off camera. Then I'll take it on camera. Okay. So can I check now with you about this lady in the video? Is she the head beast? Is she connected neurally to the network of the head beast? Is she you? Okay, we'll move to the next photo. No, we will not move to the next photo. You are getting upset. You are not getting upset. You want me to stop the session? Okay, I will stop the session. I'll stop the session. Okay. So we stop the session. What I'll do is I'll quickly just look at these words over here before I leave. The word Nile is over here. Yet once again. Okay, this is something I noticed before. Means the people from the Nile have gone and distributed themselves into USA, EU, AU, UAE. Fake IDs everywhere, pretending to be the ER maybe. Or there is a time with all of them. But since this is about talatalaloka, it is about trickery and fooling. That's what the topic is. Sau means 100, connected with Nile to the EU, connected back to the ER. Having worn the skin of hundreds or fooled hundreds. What is interesting here is Sallu and Nile. Sallu is not the real Salman Khan. He's somebody else. He stood in for Salman Khan. He's not the original, is what my pendulum said yesterday. And that's important to get out. My mom is very important. My actual mom's line is connected with something to do with EUER. Maybe this is why the criminals took to Anu's fishery. That Kasargod is very important because that place, whether it is the Shankar Mutt, whether it is Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, all of it is in and around that Kasargod area only. Primarily, we are just, connected to the Guru Parampara, both on my father's side as well as my mom's side. That's it. I don't know about being seer and all that. It is connected to things like Shirdi Sai Baba, Dattatreya Bhagwan, whatever are the saints and sages of proven caliber without the body. That's it. No dance drama actually. So you can say follow Bhakti Yoga. Maybe there is something connected with the Nile that we don't know about. So, if there is lies involved, it is probably about the duplicate version of Anu Sadrangani. The duplicate is the one that loses temper fast, has a different style altogether, has played Shalina's role also apparently. And apparently she has shapeshifted, that is what it said, she has shapeshifted for Mrs. Neeta Ambani also. But none of the photos we saw were showing the one who's been fitted out as the head beast. None of the photos that were checked off camera. Now again is to, so I think it is U9 lies here. Or some people in the UN have lied about being a seer, or there are 9 people for, I went to Australia to do the QUT study, but that time I come to know the ID moved to somebody, my actual birth identity was given to somebody else. Now has it been jumped on 9 people's identity? So that is connected with lies in some way. Nine connected with the AU situation of going to Australia and studying. There is lies associated with that situation. It was looked at by the ER. They should know what it is. Maybe someone figured out something about the neural network through the remote IR, sending the brain signals through remote, or the wire. The remote is used to put the TV on and the TV off. The wire of the brain signals and a nano chip. Also, the cortex is put on and put off remotely, either your own or then somebody else's. So you end up wearing the ego of somebody else, and that is done through IR from far away, remotely. You also call it remote viewing. You study brain signals, you study reactions of emotions to situations, but you're also changing ego on one person remotely. You also watch remotely. Either the neural network and the way the brain is changing, or then behavioral patterns, moods, based on whose ego you are putting from a remote place using a remote called IR upon unsuspecting individuals. Now, Anu is my mom. I went to AU. My mom never went to AU. I'm her daughter. I went to AU. I don't lie. Maybe I've been at the receiving end of the lies. Well, someone did tell him that I was called yucky DNA, and it was checked when I was in Australia before I got married, after I got, not even married, whatever that sham was, all of it was checked and I was identified as yucky DNA. 2001 2. And that's okay, that's fine. That yucky DNA thing was put upon me on my one trip to Australia to study at Queensland University of Technology. SRL had just been murdered according to whatever the reading is saying. I cannot understand how we even crossed paths. It's not spelled properly. So fake reliance, not really the real reliance, because reliance is not spoken, is not spelled this way. Now tell me one thing, ये जो अज़रबैजान जो होता है, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, is it considered some part of Europe? The eastern part of Europe? Is it classified as a European country? Perhaps the ER was slain by the digital effort of IRAI. There are many people who have been removed and been using trickery of AI. What happens if your brain doesn't work and you think you wake up, you're traveling, takes 2 hours to shut your brain off and to put another person's ego on you via the microchip and put you out on the street. Then use trickery to stand in wearing the ego and the ET of an ER which has been put out into the street or has been sent to another country, or put out into the street where he's gone to do investigation in some other country. He never goes back home. And the misdirection stats on the back of it, within teams and from, let's just say, supervisor level to the agent level. Or if not agent, then let's just say people working in the workforce of ER. He's gone and converted himself into EU and EN. Picked up from India. Where? Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. Where from? Andhra Pradesh. Now wearing the ego of somebody who's English and from Europe. Being the ER in Elon's camp. Or worse still in Washington DC. White House. Every bloody thing interior wise over there is from my setup. From childhood. Whether it's the clubs, whether it is my own apartment, whether it's my cousin's apartment, whether it's my aunt and uncle's apartment with no stealing, just from the womb. No, it's not Advait. We don't have raw over here. You found me only to keep insulting me while I'm sleeping? What problem kya hai? Yesterday my reading says Jaitley is involved with this with Susu. A problem kya hai? What's your problem? You got to answer to everybody who's passed away. The who's who. and most of them you stole from, messed around with, have gone away to the higher realms. अब उनको जवाब देना है lit realm of judges के सामने. There you are answerable to all of them. The reading that is being done is the reading upon talatalaloka and the ones who got affected on the back of it. SRL replaced by SM. AIIR, how many people slain? And then just wearing the egos, people who you wouldn't give two looks to in their normal birth form, go on to wear the ego of the ER and what, fooling how many people? Yes, somewhere else we got that you have owned the ego of the ED. Thrown bones of people who are from some IG class of people, IG level of people. ATS, RSS. So trickery, the loka of trickery goes where it is fourth place from bottom and fourth place from the top of the lower realms. So Atala, Vitala, Sutala, and then Talatala, which is the realm that is being dealt with, and all done from that realm. Then Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala, and finally the great grand place for only the most brave. From way before, many, maybe not even centuries, yugas, called Narka, Narak. So I told you SRL is actually what? This guy shapeshifted the EA of SRL, false identity of SRL, shapeshifted in that 5-month sham. He's actually Indian. He's wearing the ego in America today, pretending to be who? English and European. And we were picked up from a garbage can. You have flip-carted everything, just grabbing. It's not okay. When people are slayed, but they are actually womb-born, not only womb-born, they are atmically given that birth because they can handle the position. Slaying those kind of people and putting on, wearing ETs and egos of people, only very foolish people do. Not only that, very desperate people do. Very uneducated people do. But then those who want to actually create that one world government, new world order, where there is place only for one, they use people who are starving, hungry, willing to do anything. They don't have they are malnourished. So they don't have the foresight for actually building empires. Today's meal only is a problem. So if they can just get that much for today's meal, that's all they're interested in. You know the difference between building an empire, long-term investment plans, and speculation? That's what this effort actually has been, and it is colossally devastating actually for the world. That's what these guys don't understand. But to bring about that situation, the beast creators needed the most desperate to work for them. Nobody else who can earn their own would ever give with them. So they went diving to the masses at the bottom of the pyramid, for again restructuring the entire world, literally overhauling it. If you remember the previous video where you have seen a society of 300, it says they want 1 billion left on earth before 2036, because on the back of it, all the technology, brain control, forcefully you yourself will go to get yourself implanted. And what is there to talk about? The next generation, your yuva is all bullshit. Whatever you have ever spoken about, you always destroy that. You are with no conscience. Okay, so what's out on the internet, whether it is true or false, I don't know. But it talks about 3 years ago, 8 billion is the population on earth. Okay, they want to drop it to 1 billion on the back of war. This is another place where there's reference to the world population. So this video tracks human population, and it has come and stopped at 8 billion as the latest figure. That it didn't take much time to go to 8 billion. It took a long time to reach 1 billion in the history, but then it took about 200 years to go to 8 billion. Sounds strange, but anyway. Okay, so I'm guessing it is 8 billion. So in this video, actually they're showing how over time population has been growing on earth. Let's just see where it stops. So it is stopping at 8 billion. 8 billion is world population, in and around that much. What it said yesterday in the video they put out, they want to drop it to 1 billion before 2036. So all this that has played in the background is for that outcome. Primarily, what my readings are doing is not to fool you. It is just letting you know behind the scenes what has been happening. That's it. But also letting you know that when you do things that are that devastating, then on the back of it, the outcome for you is not great. So even establishing that. And if there is anybody who has moved on, anybody who has been fooled, anybody who has been stolen from, at the end of the day, you can't steal anything of anybody else's, you can't fool anybody, you can't get away with it. Everything is going to come to such a place where those you harmed are to free. Many of them already left the body and gone. Who actually gets stuck long term is you people. That is the reason my guess is we by mistake were left behind, so that it can be put out to those who necessarily need to understand the situation. And no, it's not the Aam Aadmi. It is not the Aam Aadmi, it is not the normal public. It is for that think tank to think and chew about and ruminate and come to a conclusion. It's not about the Aam Aadmi. The Aam Aadmi was always primarily your plaything. Bottom of the pyramid is the desperate Aam Aadmi, willing to believe anything and doesn't even realize that they work for you for free. But you knew how you can put them to work. You had done it consistently, so it's not about them. Okay, I'm putting this thing off. Putting it off. This guy is dead. Possibly somebody who was plugged in for me knows about him. Maybe that person is no more. And that's pretty unfortunate. Okay, so I'm closing this.